When it comes to director Baz Luhrmann, I would say I'm a fan, kinda. Now, I've heard that his movies are kind of full of themselves and shallow, and I can somewhat agree to that. They're very weird and bizarre, a lot of editing and a lot of style, maybe more style than substance, but I actually really enjoyed his first three films, Strictly Ballroom, Romeo and Juliet, and Moulin Rouge, especially Moulin Rouge. I really loved how he would incorporate the music of today and tell his stories in such a unique and weird and strange way. And I think he really accomplished that really well with Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge. But I can understand some people not really digging his style and thinking maybe he is a little over the top. Well, maybe too much over the top. But when he came out with a film called Australia, which I believe probably was a love letter to his native country, that movie just didn't work for me. It didn't work at all for me. I was really taken back and I felt like he just dropped the ball. And it was kind of a shame because I was really hoping that this would be another really interesting, fascinating film from Baz Luhrmann, who I really like as a filmmaker. I don't really have a huge problem with the man. Now, he has a brand new film called The Great Gatsby. And I think this might be the second or third time it's been made into a movie. But it's the first time I've ever really heard this story. I know it's a classic story from a classic novel done by F. Scott Fitzgerald, but I've never read it. The only thing I knew from F. Scott Fitzgerald was one of his short stories was turned into The Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons, and that's really all I knew. I didn't know anything about going into this movie. I didn't know what was going to happen. Baz Luhrmann really loves tragedy. If you look at most of his films, he really loves tragedy, and so I knew that it was probably going to be tragic and very sad. That's really all I knew going in. I really liked the cast, especially Leonardo DiCaprio, Joel Edgerton, Carey Mulligan, and Tobey Maguire. But I wasn't really crazy about this movie. I can't say that I was like really anticipating it at all. I see the trailers and I'd be like, okay, well, it looks kind of interesting, but I'm just gonna hold back my expectations because, you know, his last film, Baz Luhrmann, I just wasn't too impressed. So, you know, going to this movie, expectations were in check, and as the movie progressed, and I did see it in 3D, I noticed that the 3D was, you know, it was decent, it was good, but it felt really unnecessary. I felt like the first problem I had with this movie is that the 3D felt kind of a waste. Yeah, it worked sometimes, but I felt like a story like this really didn't need to be 3D, it didn't need to have this. I mean, I could have saw it in 2D and been perfectly fine, probably would have had the same feelings I had, but that was the first initial problem. And also, it does have that over-the-top Baz Luhrmann feel. He loves to really incorporate the artists of today and fuse them probably with the music of back then. But for me, that really didn't work at all. I never felt really connected because of that, like I did with his previous movies. So I was really trying to find a way to really latch on to this film. And at first, I felt like the production value, the production design, and the costume design, and the acting really kept me invested. The acting wasn't incredible, but it was good enough to keep me intrigued. Keep me invested to the point where I was not bored. Now this movie's like 2.5 hours. It could have been like 45 minutes shorter. It might have been a better film, but I found myself really interested. I didn't feel bored as much as I thought I was going to be. I didn't find the story that intriguing. I know it might have been an original story when it first really came out, but I've seen this story done a lot in cinema and in you know, the stories, you know, I don't know if this story is as memorable as it might have been in the book. Now, I've not read the book, so the book might be incredible. If you've read the book, let me know if it compares and how it compares from the book to the movie. Is it better? Is this movie better than the book? I just don't know, but it did hold my attention. I never felt, you know, bored, even though at times I felt a little distant, like the movie was happening over here and I'm over here just hanging out waiting for something really interesting to happen. So I kind of enjoyed the movie to a point, but it's not a movie I'm going to revisit anytime soon. I would maybe recommend that you see it at least once. Maybe you'll find enjoyment. I don't think in 3D is that important, but I did overall kind of like the movie. I'm going to give The Great Gatsby 3 stars. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook, and please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film, and also go to WhoYouTube.com. Now, one more thing before I leave. At the end of my reviews, I usually mention a website called WhoYouTube.com that has done a lot for me and a lot for a lot of other people like myself that is reviewing movies and their DVD collection and whatever they do, whatever they spread their love about movies. But I've noticed over the last couple months the website hasn't really changed at all. And that really kind of concerned me. I was wondering what was going on. And so I asked the creator, everything okay? And one of the family members of the creator of WhoYouTube.com contacted me and told me that the person had an accident. And they're recovering. They're doing okay, and they're recovering. But that's the reason why the website really hasn't been having a lot of changes. And so now that I know that, I totally understand. And so I just want to use this time to just give out my thoughts and my prayers to the family and to the creator of WhoYouTube. And I really appreciate what you've done for me. I really appreciate what you've done for this loving community of film lovers. And I hope that you get well soon. And just let you know that I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're okay. Please, feel free to contact me, and we can talk. And but maybe that's not that important, but just get better, and I look forward to hearing from you soon and hearing from your family. And I just want to thank you again for everything that you've actually done for me, and again for everything you've done for the film loving community. Thank you again for watching, and have a good day. Bye bye.